ever wanted to stand up to the pure evil of the Nazis, but realized you were basically born a little too late? Well, now's your chance. The Saboteur is an epic, open-world, revenge-driven adventure, inspired by real events and people of Nazi-occupied Paris. Our hero is Sean Devlin, a rough-and-tumble, race-car-driving, tough-talking, Nazi-bashing Irishman. We snuck behind enemy lines at EA Redwood Shores to gather intel about their latest World War II adventure. The Saboteur takes place primarily in a fictionalized 1940s Paris. The thing is, this massive and very stylish 10-square-mile map has been drained of all color by evil and arrogant occupying Nazi forces. As the Saboteur name implies, you get to sneak around in enemy territory. You also get to exploit Sean's racing skills as you fly through the twisted streets of Paris, often under enemy fire, always in control. Cooler still, you get to work with the French Resistance and the British SOE. And as you do, you inspire the locals who join you in the fight to liberate the city from these bratwurst-loving baddies.
So the Will of Fight is really, it was this idea of just how do we sell the occupation? And so there's that kind of black and white and color element of it. And we wanted to make what your actions in the game have an impact. And it really started out from a very simple idea of more of like a area capturing mechanic, but then we really just expanded on it and wanted to go big with it and make it more tied to the story and make it actually have like an emotional impact on the world. When the areas are heavily occupied by the Nazis, it's black and white and it has this kind of harsh Sin City look to it. But as you play through the big missions in the game and you do these what we call grand acts of defiance, you'll complete these big objectives and the color will literally bleed back out into the world. There are some points in the story too where like the Nazis will attack an area and we'll bring the black and white back into the area to signify kind of what's going on in the game.
So, how did Sean get into this whole mess? Early on, while racing against his future nemesis, a tragic series of events set him off in search of a double shot of Irish revenge.
There's definitely race cars in the game, and they're fun to get because they're really fast and you can whip them around the twisty streets of Paris at high speed, which is really fun. But then there's a lot of different civilian vehicles, trucks and cars. There's military vehicles, and then you don't get to drive them, but there's Zeppelins that will fly around in the world. When you push the alarms to a certain level, they'll actually chase you with a spotlight and a minigun and shoot at you. And then you can grab a rocket launcher if you're lucky enough and shoot one down.
Although occupied, Paris is Sean's kind of city. His bad boy ways lead you down into the seedy bars and brothels of World War II Paris, where he quickly discovers some like-minded souls. The Belle Nuit turns out to be the ideal home base for Sean and his resistance buddies. Now, if all of this is sounding a little far-fetched, the developers actually based Sean on a real person.
The only things that really stuck from this guy, William Grover Williams, that inspired Sean was race car driver, Saboteur, Nazi-occupied Paris. But from there, we really took everything in its own direction. But it was really a neat idea of having this guy that was actually a real race car driver becoming a Saboteur. It seems almost unbelievable on paper, but it actually was real and it inspired Sean.
So now that you know who Sean is and what he's after, there's still just one little problem. The entire city of Paris is infested with Nazis. Sacre bleu! The developers wanted you to get a sense of the magnificence of the city and have included all of the most familiar landmarks, like the Eiffel Tower, of course. And yes, you can climb up and throw Nazis off of it, we asked. Before the joie de vivre of Paris returns, you've got some work to do. And as a Saboteur, Sean often works best alone.
The fantasy of being a Saboteur is being more sneaky. And I hesitate to use the word stealth. I like to think of it as sneaky because everything is just a tool for the player. So you can sneak in, break a neck, take a disguise, use that as a tool to get into the heart of the Nazi base. But then you plant your bomb, and then the alarms are going to go off, and then guns are going to start blazing, and you're going to grab a car and crash the gates. That's the mantra, but the player doesn't have to play that way. If you want to go in shooting, plant a bomb on the car, crash the front gate, it's really up to you and how you want to play it.
The city is full of enemy troops, guard posts, radio towers, sniper nest, and a whole mess of heavy-duty weapons that need sabotaging. As you go about your covert killing business, you'll earn points that you can spend upgrading your fighting abilities and weapons skills. You can increase the general safety of an area by taking out some fascists before you embark on a mission. Also, there are a few areas called pushback zones, where you and the resistance get to fight full-on battles against the Nazis in force. We were very impressed by the storytelling aspect of the game. The cutscenes are gorgeous, well-written, and well-acted. These are the moments where Sean's character and personality shine, as he cranks up his Irish charm and really showcases his unique way with words.
You, me
So it's really up to you. Stealthy or hey look at me playstyles, or even a combination of the two. Frankly, we can't decide which is more gratifying. Sneaking up behind a Nazi and snapping his neck, or running right up to him and kicking his face in. The Saboteur is more than just another GTA 4 sandbox-style game. Yes, it has a huge map, and an open world filled with massive set pieces and side missions. The story is fantastic, and the game is also incredibly stylish and fun. And in the end, we're happy to say that Sean is the kind of action hero that we're glad to have on our side.